Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, Facebook family. Just gonna bring
Bye.
that down a little bit.
Bye.
We got Instagram over here to
Bye.
our right, your left. So if I look over, you'll know that I'm looking at a different camera.
Bye.
Say hi.
Hi.
Tell everybody your name.
Jameson.
Gilliam. Good. Welcome.
Can I stand up?
Yes. Just for a sec. Welcome to Bedtime Stories in Black. I am Lady Jennifer Gilliam, and I am here with you tonight. I am your host and your reader for tonight's session. And like I said earlier, or like he said, I have Jameson here with me, and we are going to read. What are we reading, JJ? Oh, what are we reading?
Ron's Big Mission.
Ron's Big Mission. Before we start reading, come on, JJ, sit on my lap.
For a long time.
Jay, sit on my lap. Just sit here, and because we're getting ready to read, okay? Before we start reading, make sure you like and share. Tag at least 3 to 5 people in the comments, and let them know that you're here with us, so that you can listen to tonight's story. It's actually a really good one. And it gives a little bit of history of us brown people. Jay, you want to go downstairs?
No.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good night.
No, have a seat if you're going to stay, okay? Okay. Remember, I said listening ears, right?
Ear.
And an inside voice, right?
Monkey ears.
Don't do that. Okay. So we are going to read Ron's Big Mission tonight. And this is by Rose Blue and Corinne Naden. It's actually Corrine Naden. And then it is illustrated by Don Tate.
Can I trace it?
Okay. This is Ron's Big Mission.
Ron's Big Mission.
Okay. Are we ready?
M-I-C.
Okay, we're gonna read. You ready, Chase?
O-N-G-B.
Are you ready?
B.
Okay.
B-L-G.
Are you ready? Listening ears. Okay. And it doesn't have to be just your children. Gather around your whole family.
Ron's Big Mission.
Okay, let's see what Ron's Big Mission is, okay?
Okay, I can see
All right. Pay attention. You're up early this morning, Ron. What's the rush? Asked Mrs. McNair. Come and have your breakfast. I made some oatmeal. I have to go, Mama, said Ron, tying his sneakers. I have something to do this morning. You always have something to do, said his mother with a smile. Just be home by lunchtime, okay? And this book also has some very beautiful illustrations, like the others we've been reading this month.
The others? Come on.
Okay. Ron was 9 years old. That morning, he left his house with a plan. He'd been thinking about it for a long time. It was a beautiful South Carolina summer day, and Ron looked up at the blue sky. Someday, he thought, he would be up there flying a plane. He wanted to be a pilot when he grew up, but today Ron had something else on his mind, something very important.
Mama, can I go wash my hands?
Not yet. Ron walked down the street as fast as he could. He didn't want to be late. Hi, Ron, the grocer called from the front of his store. There you are, just in time for a donut. Morning, Mr. Douglas, said Ron. Thank you, but there's someplace I've got to be. And Ron kept on walking. See Ron and Mr. Douglas?
I can't see.
Look, there's Ron and Mr. Douglas.
Is that Ron?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Mr. Who?
Mr. Douglas.
Oh.
All right. Down by the schoolyard, Ron saw his friend Carl. Jameson. Down by the schoolyard, Ron saw his friend Carl shooting baskets. All right, you made it, called Carl. Hi, Carl, said Ron. I wish I could stay, but I've got something important to do. More important than basketball on summer vacation, said Carl. Are you kidding? Ron
Summer
laughed.
vacation?
Ron laughed. He loved to play basketball, but not today. Today was too important. Ron kept on walking. Jameson.
What? Hi, everyone.
Come on, sit back. All right.
Wow, I'm not a baby.
Look, Jay. All right. When Ron got to the Lake City Public Library, he stopped. This was it. He was hot from walking so fast, and he was nervous too. He took a deep breath, lifted his head high, and went inside. Mrs. Scott was busy getting ready for all the people who would be using the library today. As the head librarian, she had to make sure that everything...
You're not going to see.
She had to make sure that everything was neat and orderly. Mrs. Scott looked up to welcome her first visitor of the day. She smiled as Ron walked in. He was her best customer. Ron gave a little wave to Mrs. Scott and went right to the shelves. Is that Miss Scott in the library?
Yes.
You know a Mrs. Scott, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, look, this is the important part, JJ.
Yes.
It took Ron a while to find some books. He always looked for books that showed children who looked like him. But that was hard. There were not many books about Black kids on the shelves. At last, Ron found some books on airplanes. He took the books and started to walk to the front desk. Ron felt nervous and his hands felt a little sweaty, but he knew what he wanted to do. Mrs. Fielding, a white lady who was often in the library, stopped him. Listen, you can give me the books and I'll check them out for you, Ron, she said gently. No thanks, Mrs. Fielding, Ron said. I'm going to do it all by myself. But Ron, she started to say. Do you kind of know what's happening, Jameson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll talk about it in just a second.
He's about to get mad.
Okay, let's see. Ron was already on his way to the front desk. He put the books on the counter. I'd like to check these out, please, said Ron. The desk clerk didn't look at him. Didn't she hear me? Ron wondered. Ron knew what he had to do. Let me go back. He jumped up on the counter. He wanted the desk clerk to know he was serious. I'd like to check out these books, he said quietly. At first, the desk clerk and Mrs. Scott just looked at each other. You know you can't check out books, Ron, said Mrs. Scott. You can read them here. That's the rule. Only white people can check out books from the library. Ron looked at Mrs. Scott and the desk clerk politely, but he would not budge. I always read them here. Today I want to check them out, said Ron. Mrs. Scott and the desk clerk did not know what to do. Ron wouldn't get off the counter. People were staring. Finally, the desk clerk called the Lake City police.
Whoa!
Two policemen came right over. Let someone check out the books for you, son, said one of the policemen. You know the rules, but Ron just shook his head. He would not budge. Now, Mrs. Scott called Ron's mother. Mrs. McNair came to the library very quickly. I know how you feel, baby, she said, but you have to follow the rules. I can't, Mama, Ron told her. It's wrong. The rules are not fair. Why can't I check out books like everyone else? No one said anything. Not the desk clerk, not Mrs. Scott, not even the policeman, and not even Ron's mother. Mrs. Scott looked at Ron. She thought about all the times that Ron came into the library and all the time he sat at the tables for hours looking over so many books. He was her best customer, and she knew what she had to do.
The other side. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Take a look at what's happening. Mrs. Scott walked into her back office and she started writing. Ron wondered what she was doing.
Ron had a bad day?
Not really a bad day. It actually is going to turn out. Let's see how it's going to turn out. Mrs. Scott returned and handed Ron a library card, his library card. Ron looked at Mrs. Scott and smiled. As he jumped to the floor, he thought he saw her smile too. I'd like to check out these books, please, he said, handing the card to the desk clerk. The desk clerk took his library card and stamped the cards in the back of the books. These are back in 2 weeks, she said. Jameson. You see that big smile Ron has on his face? What is he excited about?
When she gave him
His library card?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I need you to pay attention. Ron smiled. Thank you, he said. He tucked his books under his arm and took his mother's hand. Together, they walked home. Ron couldn't wait to get to his room and open to pay. Oh, hold on, let me show you the pictures. He couldn't wait to get to his room. Jameson. And open to page 1.
Bye.
Jameson, come on, sit down. Okay, so he's reading a book about what?
Bye. About airplanes.
About airplanes,
A
right?
rocket ship.
Okay, so that is, what do you say at the end?
The end.
The end. So what happened here, Jameson? Ron went to the library. Ron constantly sat at the library for hours, checking out books and looking at them in the library. But because Ron was brown, he could not check out books, right? That was the rule years ago. If brown people wanted to read in the library, in the public library, they had to do so while in the library. They couldn't bring books home like you do now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So just a little bit about the author. Well, it's an author's note. This book is actually about Ron McNair, and he grew into a man who flew planes just like he dreamed he would do. He became an astronaut. And that's a true story because even today, everyone in Lake City, his hometown, remembers him. And so it's a very special place. It's a red building on 234 Main Street in South Carolina. So he is definitely a memorable person, and he has really made a difference, especially with this book. I think kids can gain a lot from this read. So Ron's Big Mission, I actually think I picked this up from probably a local thrift store. I think I was pregnant with little Marvin at the time, and I said he's gonna need some books with some kids that look like him, and that's when we started our collection. So that was probably about 5 years ago, and now there are plenty. We have plenty on our shelves. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight's read. It's called, again, Ron's Big Mission, and very good book, especially for now, because it shows kind of how our world was, and there are some things that show that are very similar to how our world is now, but a very good read for the kids so that they understand the rights that we have now as well. Jameson.
Sorry.
The rice that we have now is brown people. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a blessed remainder of the night. I hope you have a wonderful week this week. Please join us this coming Thursday. Come here. Tell people that. Put that down. Please join us again this Thursday. We will have another great read. And we hope to see you all soon. Have a blessed and wonderful evening. Say bye-bye.
Bye. Now can I go downstairs?
Sure, Jameson. Be blessed, everyone.
Oh.